Hey everybody, it's Andy. Welcome to Live Office Hours, where today it's money time. It's money time, baby. Let's get you paid. Actually, we're going to talk about, really the title of this subject is why you don't get paid what you deserve. And I have a spoiler alert here. So this is going to make some of you very, very sad. But I have news for you. It is not because you botched up one measly salary negotiation discussion. Take it from someone who has negotiated nearly 600 employment agreements for more than $90 million in compensation. An awful lot has to line up correctly all the way along the way for you to get paid what you're worth. So today's talk is going to be about some really nice techniques and tips you can use that you can hang on to as you go throughout the entire process. So when you apply, as you get into those early discussions, as you move through the interviewing process, and yes, as you start to gear up and get ready for that negotiation discussion, what to do kind of before, during, and after. But first, just want to say a quick hello, introduce myself for all of you. Getting in the chat, let me know you're here. Tell me where you're from. If you got any questions, put some question marks in. My name's Andy LaCivita. I'm the award-winning author of The Hiring Prophecies, and I have made it my mission in life to help people succeed in their careers. And one of my favorite ways to do that is by holding these live office hours for you for free on my YouTube channel on Thursdays. So welcome. I am thrilled. I mean, absolutely buzzing with happiness to have you. I really mean that. And I'm especially glad you guys are here with me today because actually for the next couple of weeks, we're about, today we're ending a 6-week uninterrupted run of these, but for the next couple of weeks, the live office hours are going to be on reruns because I'm actually going to be conducting my live job search boot camp. So if you want to see my face, live that is, over the next couple of weeks, you got to get into the boot camp. And speaking of the boot camp, and it's kind of a little segue into the lesson today, if you're not familiar with this, and I was thinking about, if you're not familiar with my bootcamp, and I was thinking about how did I want to package up this lesson with you today? I knew I wanted to make it about getting you paid or making sure that you're not losing any dollars. And I actually turned to my bootcamp to look for some of the lessons that I was teaching. And if you don't know about my bootcamp, it's 5 sessions. Just very quickly, it's 5 sessions. It is a complete end-to-end job searching program. And it starts out with a session about, it's really the starting point. It's about self-awareness, introspection, asking the right questions, getting yourself positioned to evaluate employers, and then it moves you through the process. So it goes into marketing, the resume, the covers, the LinkedIn. Then I teach everything you need to know about job searching, and then everything you need to know about interviewing. But when we get down to the end, there's the last module, and that last module is about getting you paid the maximum at what you're worth, what you deserve. But it isn't just about negotiating, because there's elements, right? You have to negotiate effectively. But it teaches you that all the way along the process, there are places for you to do things and say things that are really going to increase your ability to earn more when they ultimately give you that offer. So I decided, I don't actually know the number of concepts that I teach in that module. I know there's a lot. So I went through it. I started counting it up. There were 29 different steps and tactics that I was teaching, things to say, not to say, what to do, what not to do, all those good things. So from the time you apply all the way to the time that you accept the offer, that's how you maximize your earnings. So obviously there's a lot to this. A counter offering alone was 6 different steps. And so then because I always like to look at the other side of the equation, what are the mistakes people making? Kind of what are those bloops and blunders? How many of those was I teaching? 14. So you got 29 things you got to do right. You got about 14 biggie things you can do wrong or where you can trip up. I'm not going to talk to you about 43 concepts today, but I looked in that bag of lessons and I said, I want to pull out 5 doozies. What are the ones that are the most common? What are the ones that I get asked about the most? So in sessions like this, what are you asking me to help you with? And inside the training, what are people asking me inside the training? So I looked at that and then I thought, well, but what's costing you the most money? What's really hurting your comp? And that's how I came up with these 5. So we're going to run through them. I got note cards today, no slides, But let's run through these. We're going to talk through them. I think they're a lot of fun, and I think they'll open your eyes to some areas you need to be paying extra special attention as you go throughout the entire process. So, number one, timing. Timing. Your timing is off for the most part. What most people do is they don't understand the concept of timing when they get engaged in an employment opportunity. And by timing, what do I mean? So rule number one of negotiation, rule number one of asking for anything that it is that you want anytime in your life, no matter what it is you never ask or discuss it until your stock is as high as it can possibly be. So what do I mean by that? Well, throughout the interview process, you should be accumulating more stock. They should be falling in love with you so that toward the end, they know more about you. They know what you can do. They know the value you can contribute. They love you so much, they have to have you. When you get down there to the end, if you've built up your stock like that, they're going to pay you more. They're going to make sure they hire you. When is your stock the lowest? At the beginning, because all they have is a piece of paper on you, right? Or something you might have filled in an applicant tracking system. All right, so let's get down to brass taxes on this one because it's a big honking deal. Let's talk examples, mistakes, and what to do instead. So think about all the stuff that occurs in the beginning, right? You're filling in an application. What's one of the boxes that they're asking you about? What's your expected salary? What's your desired salary? What about when you get into the phone screen? The recruiter or the HR person says, hey, what's your expected salary? How much is it going to take for you to leave? What do you need to make a move? Whatever the way they package it, they're asking you right out of the gate. So never, ever, 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 ever discuss what your desired salary is in the beginning. Now, let's give you some real concrete examples here. On the application, you might be, I'd prefer if it's an open field where it asks, you just put open or negotiable. But you might be saying, well, hey, Andy, that's great, except this isn't an open field. It's making me pick a range, a number, 51,000 to 54,000 and 55,000 to 59,000 and so on. If you have to put a number in, just use your current salary. Don't worry about the application. Just put what you're currently earning as your desired salary. No one's going to hold you to it. They don't know you yet. Really what they're looking to do is they're looking to screen people out that want too much. So you don't want to eliminate yourself too early. Now when you get into the process and the recruiter or the HR person or the screener or whoever it is you're speaking with, I don't care if it's the CEO, it doesn't matter who it is, whoever requests your desired salary, I would like you to give them an answer that goes a little something like this. Compensation is important to me, but it's really only one component, and I'd really like to look at the entire offer of working here. And that, to me, there's many things that go along with that. It's what I get to do, who I get to do it with, the training opportunities, the career development opportunities, the vacation, the benefits. All of those things are really important to me, so I can't possibly give you an educated answer to what my desired salary is until I understand all of those other aspects, which I'm really looking forward to learning about throughout the interview process. But I'm absolutely sure if we're right for each other, and you like me and I like you, we'll be able to come to something amenable or agreeable or something of that nature. You definitely do not want to give them a number. No good could come from you giving them a number. Why? So let's say your desired salary in your head is $50,000. And the recruiter says, what's your desired salary? And you say, it's $50,000. And the recruiter's thinking, this job pays $75,000. Good. You get down to the end, there's your offer, $50,000. And you're thinking, well, hang on a second. I didn't realize the job actually pays more and so on and so forth. And now you're not sticking to your word. Or how about this one? You say 50 and the recruiter says, well, the top end of the range is 48. And you're thinking to yourself, well, okay, now what? Trust me when I tell you, and we're going to talk about this a little more in the next one, there's not a recruiter on earth or an HR person on earth that's going to determine whether you get hired or what you get paid. I mean, unless, of course, they're hiring you for their team and they're the hiring official making those decisions. But for the rest of us, they have virtually no say in what you're ultimately going to get paid. What can they do though? What power does a recruiter or an HR person have at the early stages of this process? They got the power to screen you out. So we don't want that happening to you. So no good. Trust me, only bad stuff can happen. You are rarely ever going to thread the needle. And your stock isn't very high. So you might be worth twice as much as you think based on their evaluation. So no good could come of that. So let's kind of segue in. Let's beat up the recruiters a little bit more. Sorry for all you recruiters out there. I love you. I'm a recruiter too. But let's talk about number 2, mindset. Mindset. So, and when I say mindset, stay in the game. I want you focused on you, not their money. And when a recruiter says to you something like, well, the job only pays $48,000, or the range is, $45,000 to $48,000, and you're thinking, ugh, I make 48 or I make 50. Now what? Now you're all worried, and all of a sudden you become deflated. Your posture changes, your mentality changes, the way you approach the whole process changes because the recruiter set a poor table for you and you actually listened to it. I'm telling you, don't pay any attention to what the recruiter tells you the job pays. It's really not that material as much as you think so. It's not that material at the beginning of the process. Why not? Most of you need to be focused on the hiring official and impressing the people that matter that are going to make the decisions. But trust me, there's not much good that can come of you being all bummed out about the fact that they told you, the top end of the range is 48K. And I'm not going to get into all the stats, but most of you out there are going to join a small or medium-sized company. And a small or medium-sized company, which when you tally all the numbers up, constitute about 90-some-odd% of the workforce of the world. Those companies have loads of freedom in what they will pay you. So think about, when I go in to buy a car, or you go in to buy a car, and I see, the heated seats and steering wheel and the moonroof and the surround sound that's going to blow my ears off and all that cool stuff, I'm willing to pay more because I get more. But if I got the cloth seats with the cold wheel and I don't have a moonroof and all that good stuff, then I want to pay less. It's the same thing for hiring officials. They're going to be focused on what value you can add. You add more value, I'm happy to pay you more. Don't worry about what our salary range says. Or maybe some of you, I know I'm going to get a few of you out there that work for these large companies, and you're so focused because, I'm going in, I'm interviewing for a position, and it's a G1 level that, pays between $51,000 and $51,500, and that's it. Well, trust me when I tell you that as you go through the interview process, maybe you show them you're a G2 or a G9 or an H4 or whatever. And then they'll just rank you appropriately and pay you appropriately based on the contributions you're going to make and the value that you're going to bring to them. So keep your head in the game. All right, here's where I really want your head into the game. Number 3, your stories lack power. They lack power. All right, so I want you to think about this. I want you to be focused on your value, not their money. I also want you to realize that getting paid well and negotiating well at the end is not about you understanding all the tips and tactics and tricks and techniques and countermeasures that go along with the arm wrestling that is negotiation. The best negotiators worry about, or I should say plan for, having an environment that is sound for them. They create a negotiating environment where they've built up all their stocks so they're standing tall. They've planted all the seeds along the way so the discussion is an afterthought. You need to be focused on building that foundation for yourself so that you're blown away by the number of dollars that the employer wants to give you. How do you do that? You have power in your stories, and what gives them power? You showing your value and what you're going to be able to contribute to the company. Now, when you interview, there's only 3 things that should happen when you utter a word or your body language or what you do or what you don't do. Every single thing that comes out of your mouth or any gestures you make, do one of 3 things. They show how you add value, or they develop chemistry and camaraderie with the person you're speaking with or the team you're speaking with, or the third thing that they do is it gathers intelligence because you have to make a good decision about working there. That's all you're shooting for. Value, chemistry, information. So how do you add more value to your story? So there's many ways to do that. One quick example that I said, I don't know, a couple of minutes ago was I told you that I've negotiated nearly 600 employment agreements. That's true. For more than $90 million, almost $100 million. That's true. That's not the same as saying I've negotiated a lot of employment agreements or I have helped my job candidates get a lot of dollars. Those are not the same. Those sentences don't have the same level of power. So there are a number of different ways and tactics that you can introduce power into your story to show the value you can create. So how would you do that? Well, I have an aid for you. It's a fantastic download. Actually, I have a ton of downloads. I didn't even go into that in the beginning part. There's loads of giveaways in the description, and one of them I want you to definitely grab because it will help you add power to your stories is my Career Achievements Journal. There's a download. It's free. There's a video. It's also on my YouTube channel and my blog. And it teaches you how to use the journal, but there's effectively 14 points in that journal that you should capture for every project of your work life. A project could be one day, it could be a month, it could be a year, it could be 5 years. But every time you do something discrete, there's 14 pieces of information I want you to capture. And the most fantastic thing about this journal is it will teach you how to look at gathering the information. When you gather it, you can use the information to put on your resume to give that power. And then you get in the interviews and you really are smoking because that's the content you're speaking about. So don't misunderstand me. It's not just about the numbers. Business problems, challenges, other things that were part of you creating the story, what ultimately came about as a result of what you did. That gives you power. So grab that. All right, number five. You pitch instead of receive. You pitch instead of receive. So what do I mean by that? All right, so you've been through the interviewing process and you get down to the end. Now you're done. They love you, you love them, and it's money time. All right, so the recruiter comes back to you and says, hey, Julie, all right, I know you didn't tell me in the beginning what you want, but you've been through the process. What do you want now? And what do I want you to do? Don't tell her. That's right. Again, stall. Why? Because you still don't know enough about their compensation program and what that looks like. So at this stage, what a lot of people do is they immediately want to give them a number and they get excited and they start squealing with glee and it's uneducated. So what I'd prefer that you do is wait for them to give you an offer. Because at this point, let's think about this. You're at the stage, you might know that you want to work there and that they're super awesome and you're going to get great training and the culture looks fun and you like the Friday happy hours and all that good stuff. But what you don't know, no matter who you are, if you're a junior person just getting your first job or you're a senior executive, you don't know what the overall compensation structure looks like. So even if you have the most basic compensation structure out there where you get a salary and you get benefits, or you get a salary, maybe a bonus and benefits, when you say, hey, I'm cool with $50,000, then they give you the offer. There you go, $45,000 in base salary, $5,000 in a bonus, and there's your benefit package, which, oh my goodness, costs you an extra $1,000 a month than your other employer. Now the $50,000 is $45,000 minus an extra $12,000, and you can't even pay your rent. And now what do you have to do? Well, I wanted $50,000 over, but now you start getting into this, well, you're not holding up to your word and all that stuff. Bad stuff happens. Or how about this? You're a senior exec. A lot of the women and the men that I deal with, they're like 8, 9, 10 components to their compensation. And they got base, and they got bonus, they got quarterly commissions, they've got profit sharing, they got phantom stock or restricted stock units, they've got accelerators, they got all kinds of stuff. If you don't understand all of the components, you're not giving them an educated number still at the end. So what I'd prefer that you do is say, look, we've been through the dance. You've seen what I can do. I'm absolutely certain you're going to make me a fair offer. Just extend your offer. Let me look at it. And then I'll have a much better understanding of what the whole process looks like. And I will very quickly give you feedback, if not instantly, certainly within a day. Just give me a chance to think about it and assemble my thoughts, and I'll come back to you. So I want to make sure it's better for you to know it's better to react in that case because you're getting more information. You got more information. You can make an educated decision. And then one time you go back to them with your thoughts and a bunch of other stuff. And I'm not going to go into all my countermeasure tactics. You want those, you got to join the boot camp. But I want to make sure that you are receiving and not pitching. But speaking of countermeasures, number 5, one of the biggest sins of all, you don't counter. You don't counter. You should counter. But wait, let me get a couple things out of the way really quick. Yes, there are times you should not counter because to do so would be borderline, if not flat out insulting. And we can talk about that. But I just want you to realize it's not always great, on the one hand, to try to wring out every last nickel from the employer. Because what happens? You got a bullseye on your forehead. They get very impatient. They want results yesterday before you even started. And you're constantly, no one needs that kind of stress in our lives. So that's one side of the equation. The other side of the equation is, let me give you some other statistics. And actually, I want to give you one from another trainer. You know, I follow everybody in the market, or at least the well-known ones. And I think she said she ran a survey or something like this, maybe it was a year or two ago. And they discovered, she and her company discovered that just by asking for more money resulted in about a $5,000 increase for the people that she surveyed over the course of the year. My statistics of all those 580 some odd people was like closer to 10. But there are obviously demographics involved. We generally deal with people who earn more than, $50,000 to $1 million, $50,000 to $1 million, since we're dealing with a higher bracket. But regardless, I want you to know that that's the case. Now, what you need to know about employers, and I'm speaking in generalities here, most employers want to come to the table with a good and fair offer, but an opening offer, not their final offer. Why would they do that? Well, first off, they're not trying to hoodwink you. Let's give employers, as much as we love beating them up, let's give them benefit of the doubt. They want to hire you. Of course, they want to hire you. They're extending an offer, and they want you to accept it, and they've spent a lot of time with you. But they also know or anticipate that you're probably going to push back a little bit. You're going to tug on them, and they want to be ready for that, and they want to be able to not be stubborn and give you a little more, So they're prepared for that. In most cases, I mean, unless they come to the table and they say, hey, this is it, man. This is the last nickel in the coffee jar. Then that's a little scary too, because then you have to worry about down the road what's going to happen. You're not going to get any raises. But you know what I mean? They're ready for you to ask. So my message to you today is, even if you don't know what you're doing, just politely ask for more. Say, I was hoping for a little more money on the base or bigger bonus or more time off. We had Lita, bless her heart, I don't know if she's here today, probably not. She's at her new job. She went through this struggle, but she wanted more vacation. And so she and I, through the Mile Walk Academy in the training system, went back and forth to give her all the countermeasures. And she ended up getting everything she asked for, even though she agreed to the offer and then had to go back and ask for more. So, I mean, like, this stuff happens, but it's better to know, better to receive, get the information, look it through, and then counter. And you likely will get some more money, especially if you've done number 3 well. All right, so let's recap them. We've got making sure your timing is good. Delay, delay, delay till your stock is the highest. Second thing we want you to do, stay in the game. Don't worry about what you've been told by a recruiter. The recruiter is not the person who decides, or the HR person. Number 3, we need some real power in your stories. Get the Career Achievements Journal. It'll help. Number 4, make sure you are receiving, not pitching. And number 5, make sure to counter. By the way, what I didn't mention, also in the description, I did a video a couple years ago, I don't know, a while ago, on how to negotiate. And it focuses a little more on the negotiation. There's a 1-page negotiation guide. It's a little checklist for you. Grab it. It's free. It'll help you. So if you need more aids, they're in there. There's also some job searching aids as well. All right, if you're loving this, We got 154 people on here right now. Give me the thumbs up. Give me the shares. Get your questions in. There's 2 pieces of business I want to go through. It'll only take me about 2 minutes, but I just want to share this with you because I'm super stoked about it. Actually, a couple of weeks ago, I don't think it was last week, I mentioned that I'm like giddy about this. I am relaunching Interview Intervention. There's going to be a new hardbound version of the book. And so it's being printed right now. As a matter of fact, I got the cover here. I am so excited about this. I don't know if you can see this, but this is what the cover looks like. I am super stoked. I'm looking for 200 people who want to join me and Kara, my darling Kara, in a Facebook group to circulate the message about interview intervention. It's being re-released, and everybody who signs up for this, you need to be on my Tips for Work and Life subscription list. So you get the email from me that says, okay, it's time to sign up. I'm going to take the first 200 people. You fill in a form, you get on the Facebook group, I mail you a book. Wherever you are in the world, the book is free. I'm paying not only for the book for you in my group, in my Facebook group, I'll pay the shipping. So I don't care if you live in Peru, Australia, which is the farthest place on the planet from me in Chicago. I will ship it to you. Well, the fulfillment company will ship it to you. We'll get you the book. Then what we're going to do is we're going to circulate some messages around social media. I'm going to hold some really fun coaching sessions for you, not just on interviewing, but on life stuff, about a whole bunch of stuff. It's going to be deeper than these live office hours. It's going to be a ton of fun, but I can only handle about 200 people because I have to manage the group and I have to pay for all the books. So I want you to be on the lookout for that, because for the next couple weeks, like I said, we're on reruns. And speaking of the reruns, I want to say one thing about my boot camp. If you are interested in joining, I'm holding it there's a live round starting Tuesday. It's 5 sessions. They're about 2 hours each. They're all recorded. It's starting, marketing, job searching, interviewing, and all the negotiation stuff, way deeper than what I went through here. It is the only career program you're going to need. And in addition to those sessions, you get lifetime access, lifetime support. You can come back to any boot camp you want. I run them about every 8 or 10 weeks, give or take. And you're going to get a whole year's worth of ongoing coaching with me in my monthly career coaching program. So not only are we going to get you in the right job, we're going to accelerate you through at least the first year. And you get a resume review, you get some other stuff. It's 100% guaranteed. If you are not happy, I give you your money back. I just hit a button. But I want you to know that on Monday night at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, the price for the boot camp doubles. We've done a lot of assessment of the value that it's giving people, the demand for it. So that price is doubling. That is not a joke. I want you to know that now, so if you're on the fence, you'll jump in. Not only do I guarantee it, if you are an existing Mile Walk Academy student, you don't even have to pay the full price. You just pay the difference between whatever you've already invested and whatever the boot camp cost is. And if you have bought training from another trainer that you are not happy with, if you've spent $100 or $197 or $50, whatever it is, I will eat that money for you. If you want to get in the boot camp, all you got to do is send me a receipt. But if you're interested, send me an email at support@milewalk.com or LaCivita@milewalk.com, and I'll be happy to explain the trade-in program or the trade-up program. It is a sweet deal, and it's especially sweet because Monday night, the price changes. So it is a hugely good value. Even at twice the price, it's a hugely good value, but it's especially good at half the price. So anyway, so enough on that. You guys are here. There's still 147 of you. I want to go to the chat. Who's here? Maya, hey, Ingrid. Love having you in all the sessions. Ingrid, Hilda, Torre, good to see you. Loved emailing you back and forth last night. Glad we got you in the program and all that good stuff. Maya's got a question. Chris is here. Let's see. Joe Music Man, Kenneth, who else? Oh, sorry, Sandy, Cassie, Mariel, Deneen, Kent, Dina. Hey, man, I love having you guys. All right, let me get to the top. Let's start rolling through this. We're going to spend another half hour. I'm going to go through all your questions. Let's see, or as many as I can. Okay, Maya is asking, This is a good question because this is a tough one for people. Maya said she's been out of a job for 6 months. She's a professional in financial services, seeking an opportunity in different industries. What is a good answer when asked why you're out of a job for so long? Not yet, doesn't yet volunteer. So Maya, and everybody that is out of work, you know, there's nothing wrong with, I mean, it's better if you have a job, obviously, and it's better leverage as you're looking for your next job if you're currently working. But the fact of the matter is that some people are out of work because they left, or they got let go, or they had to take care of a child or a sick parent or whatever. There's a million reasons. Sometimes people want to go and try it on their own. What I would say is you just need to be honest and candidly, for you specifically, I'm guessing you've been out of work, you know, October, November, December. Those are very difficult months to, you know, try to get hired because a lot of companies are going in wrapping up projects. They're gearing up for their next year. And January and February and March generally tend to be better times to look for a job. But if you haven't found it, you haven't found it. Now, there's what I would be more concerned with than the answer would be the tactics you're using and whether you're actually searching and optimizing your time effectively to find the right job. And one of the places I would point you to is one of the earlier live office hours we did earlier this year regarding why your job search is taking so long. That's the title. And I go through all the different job searching plans based on your, I don't know your specific demographic, but your age and your income level, where you live and all that good stuff, and how exactly to allocate your time to increase the likelihood that you will find a job based on the statistical probabilities of how you are likely to find your job based on your demographic. So the first thing that I would do is I would try to expedite the process of, you know, getting your resume in order, getting the interviews, and so on. But when you come to the answer, the answer is I did some soul searching and I, evaluated what I want to do. This is what I discovered. And then I looked at how my experience applies to these new industries that I want to get into. And that took a little bit of time to assemble that. And I've really started looking in earnest last month or the month before, whenever that is. But I would probably use something along those lines. Obviously, I would like your answer to be truthful, but that's what I would do. All right. Chris, good to see you. Kara's here. To Ray, glad to see you. Wait, you had did you have a question here? Sorry. How do you know the salary range up front so you don't waste their time or yours? Okay, that is a fantastic question. I'll repeat it. How do you know the salary range up front so you don't waste their time or yours? So this is deep down from the bottom of my heart. I genuinely feel that most of the time, you guys could all disagree with me, but I see this often. Most of the time, their salary range is irrelevant if you show them the value you can bring. So if you're worried about the salary range up front, your mind is off what it should be on, which is you proving your value so that they pay you whatever you're worth. Trust me, most companies can bend that salary range. So I would not be so concerned about the salary range up front, and I would not be concerned about wasting my time. I would be more concerned about showing my value. That's genuinely what I feel. And if for any of you that are out there that are, there's a lot of different situations. To Ray is looking for work. I know that because she's in the Mile Walk Academy and I know her. So I know that she's in between jobs. So for you personally, I would take the interview and I would go show my value. For some of you others that are, not quite certain, maybe you work and you like your job, but you're deciding whether you should look. I would just be certain that it was worth my time, and my time meaning I don't care about them. I need to know that it's worth my time to go and investigate that because it's possible that I could find a better job or do something different or change industries or careers or whatever. That's about you. That's about you. Focus on what you can control, proving your value. So and then for those of you that are in different positions that really have busy jobs or travel a lot, that's for you to decide whether it's worth your time. But I honestly, it's the outlook and the way you look at it. And, you know, I don't think that any of us do anything ever. I'm sure somebody will probably write here on my YouTube channel. But I don't think anything that we do is a waste of time. I think how we look at it is what creates that as a waste of time. But everything that I do, everything that you do, if you adopt a learning mindset, there is no waste of time. If you go through an interview process and you get down to the end and they do not offer you what you think you're worth and you don't want to accept it, I would like to think you're better off, even though you went through that process, that you learned a ton. And if you all are out there and you're upset because you thought you wasted your time, I have news for you. You got bigger problems than the time you wasted. It's your outlook on life. So, I mean, I genuinely feel that. I genuinely feel that. So that's my view on that. I'm sure some of you will disagree, but that's how I look at it. All right, let's go on to the next one. Joe Music Man, hey, back to you. Just getting hip to your videos from US, but have lived internationally for last year. Great to have you. Let's see, Horiet Ablis. Hello, Andy. I'm so glad. Kenneth, good to see you, buddy. Heather, nice to see you. Okay, wait. Torre's got another one. Okay, so this is, she's got a call from a California company that wants her to fly in and meet them, but she doesn't have an idea what the position pays. They asked me about my expectation, and I answered them as you suggested. That's okay. Don't worry. Go. Have fun on the plane. Have fun in the interview. Learn. Learn, really. Just show your stuff. You'll learn, please. Donald, good to see you. Kathy, great to have you. Kathy is a new boot camper. We love to have her in the program. April O'Brien, you are welcome. Nader, I love having you. Oh my God. These live office hours are becoming a favorite part of my week. They're my favorite part of the week. They are literally my favorite part of the week. They literally are. And Michael McDevitt, my friend, is here in the house. Marielle Starr, great to see you from Buffalo. All right, let me see. Joe's got questions. April, question. Okay, here we go. I actually want to make less than what I made in my last job, as I want to step back a bit in responsibility. How do I explain this? April, that's a tough one. I'm not even sure how to explain that, because I think you should. You know what? I'm not even sure how to answer that, because I'm not sure of your situation and why you'd want to do that. I know that there are people that are out there that, you know, sometimes I get a lot of people who are in consulting. They travel a lot. They're willing to take less money to get off the road, or they need to be closer to home. They got a sick parent or whatever. I'm not sure what your situation is, but here's my answer based on what limited I know from your question. I would just express, I wouldn't say I want to make less. In the discussions early on, when the recruiter says, what's your expectation, or what are you expected to be paid? I would say, I earn a good amount. I'm open. The most important things to me are, and then highlight what, and so in the case I just gave there, if you're a traveling consultant and you need to get off the road and you're going to have less responsibilities, but you recognize that and that's okay with you because you have other things that are driving you, then it's okay to say, look, I earn a lot of money, or I earn whatever, and I'm okay with, the most important things to me are getting off the road. You don't need to say, and I'm okay with earning less. Just frame the discussion based on what you want, and that's how I would explain that. And without having the details of your situation, but I think you can draw the parallel there. Okay, Morgan from Canada, great to have you. Roderick from Baltimore. Donald from Ohio. Torre, got a call from California. Oh, wait, I think, okay, yes, all right. Emilia LaCivita, that's my mother, folks. Mom, I want you to know I have the good ice in here. I hope you'll enjoy that little inside joke there with my mom. All right, Kent and Stacy, good to see you. Juan, hello. Italy, oh man. Horiet, I'm all Italian, so God bless you, brother. All right. Wilfred, Georgia, Joshua, good morning. Diane, good to see you. Michael Matisa, thank you for your invite. You are welcome. Let me see if after 7 months of unemployment, I rebranded myself from hardware and landed a new role in digital meeting and IT space for 15% more than I was making. Yeah, baby. Love it. I am super glad. And you know what I really love about that comment is, Michael, not only were you unemployed, and you took the time to rebrand yourself, and you got your new job, and you got a pay raise, and to boot, you're here with me now. So I'm hoping you're happy and you're learning some more stuff for your career and your next gig. So grab that career achievements journal, my friend, and use it. Start collecting all that data. Hey folks, if you're loving this, kick the thumbs up, share this out to people. We still got a good 20 minutes left of questions. All right, Radu, Kara, great. Marielle, hi, you're welcome. From the Philippines, glad you're having it. Sam, yo, driving through Joshua Tree Desert right now. Who wouldn't mix in live office hours with richness of California scenery? Will you do me a favor, Sam, and wave to my entire family who lives in California, who all abandoned the Chicago weather? All right, let me see. Strolling down, Limin, how are you? Ingrid's got a question. Ingrid is a boot camper, folks. We love our boot campers. All right. If you are changing to a different job opportunity away from your professional expertise, should you accept a low rate salary or near equal to what you have been receiving? I'm assuming that is receiving. So Ingrid, same thing here. And actually, for everybody's benefit, your personal needs and wants drive what I call the entire value package of working at an organization. So the examples that I was using about, the traveling consultants, and if they place greater weight on less travel, that's up to them. If you, Ingrid, place greater weight on making that career pivot, and it's okay, and you can afford to live with less money, and that's always a factor, then I think then it is okay, totally. And as a matter of fact, folks, I know it doesn't get circulated a lot, but it's got a lot of views and a lot of shares. But I wrote a blog post. So before, for those of you who are not familiar with the Mile Walk blog, it's my tips blog. It's andrewlacivita.com. There are like 400 articles and videos and podcasts on that blog. So before I was shooting videos every week, and actually way before I was doing live office hours, all that good stuff, I would write the posts. And on the blog, there is a post. Oh God, I hope I don't get the title wrong. It's like 7 opportunities worth 7 career opportunities worth a pay cut. So check that article out, and I think it'll really help you. And those are the 7 areas that I genuinely believe, if you need to take a pay cut, I'm not even saying you need to take a pay cut, but if you are thinking about making a move, there are 7 big areas that I personally think make a pay cut worth it in the long run. So I hope that helps. Check that out. All right, Radu, as a consultant, how much is the first question recruiters ask? They would not go beyond without a number. How shall we deal with this? Okay, Radu, that's a fantastic question, right? Because that is counter to what I'm recommending. I totally get it. Folks, by the way, too, before I answer this, I'm giving you my opinion. I'm giving you the most, what I think is the most effective general question. Every single one of you, however, there's still 141 people on here. There's gonna be 141 different scenarios of situations out there. I know that. So I'm trying to give you these suggestions, and then I want you to apply them to your situation. So in Radu's case, he's a consultant or a contractor. A lot of times what they'll do is they'll say, okay, I need your rate, I need your hourly rate, or I need your annual rate, or I need your something or whatever. What I would then default to is the rate. So here's what I would say. The rate depends on what you need me to do, right? Because depending on the value I'm going to contribute, the rate may be different. I have some different rates depending on what I'm doing. Just say that, even if it's not true. I mean, but that should be true, because you should have different rates based on what you're doing. The second thing you can say is my recent rates for the last couple of years have been between $75 an hour and $90 an hour, or whatever your range is. And just say, this particular one here was 75, this one here was 85. I was a business analyst here, I was a project manager here, so I was, $80 as a business analyst, then I was $87 as a project manager, whatever it is. That's what I would do. Just say, that's my rate. That's my rate. That's how I would handle that. If that's, I think we're tracking there. All right. Marielle. Marielle has a question, and I love this one, and I knew I would get it. Which is why I didn't say it in the talk. But Marielle's asking, what about providing a salary range? And why do we not want you to provide a salary range? Because when I'm the recruiter and you're interviewing with my company, if you came from me at a job at Mile Walk or the Andrew LaCivita Mile Walk Academy, and I said to you, Marielle, the range pays $75,000 to $85,000. What did you hear? You heard $85,000. If I said to you, what is your desired salary? And you said to me between $75,000 and $85,000, what do you think I heard? $75,000. So you're effectively doing the same thing. You're assuming, but you can make the assumption that the employer heard the lower number and the employee heard the higher number. That's just psychology. I mean, that's just basically what happens. All right. Okay, let me see. Julia. Oh, Julesy. Also Julesy. Jules, love having you in the boot camp. Can't wait to see you on Tuesday. And you are never late. You are right on time. Julia is another boot camper. All right, Stacy C. What's your best practice for trying to find a recruiter for a job listed on a place like Indeed or even LinkedIn? Some recruiters actually post positions they are recruiting for on LinkedIn. Yes, that is in fact true. If you see a job on Indeed or LinkedIn, sometimes Indeed will show you jobs that they don't show the company, but let's just say you know the company. Or on LinkedIn, you'll know the company unless a third-party recruiter is posting it. What I would do then is I would go and I would research the corporate website first to see if they actually put, a recruiter's name on it. Sometimes they'll say, for these positions, contact this person. For these positions, contact this person. Sometimes they'll say, here's a generic mailbox. Submit all inquiries to recruiting@company XYZ. If they don't have that, that's cool. Go to LinkedIn, look on LinkedIn, and start looking at the company and do a search for company and recruiter or company and talent acquisition and use the variants, HR, recruitment, talent acquisitions, and so on. And that's how I would try to discover that. And a lot of times, recruiters, folks, here is a great little nugget for you to know. Recruiters, corporate recruiters, are generally open to putting out the fact that they are seeking these resources. Okay, so it is, it's kind of I don't want to say lazy, but they want it known that they are recruiting for talented information technology people, business analysts, SOC consultants, whatever, security analysts, and so on. So a lot of times the recruiter, plain as day, will put that in their headline profile or somewhere that you can search. And so then I would start combing through for people at that company to see if you could locate the recruiters. You will be amazed. You got a better than 50-50 chance of actually finding the right person if it's a company like that, especially if the company is advertising its positions on those boards. So that's what I would do. All right. All right, Eduardo. Okay, Eduardo, as an experienced marketing professional, graphic designer, and branding professional, I'm struggling to get a job in the UK. He's a foreigner. What to do? Struggling over and over and over again. Eduardo, obviously it's a big question with a lot of components to it. But the first thing that I would recommend that you do is please watch that live office hours I did on why your job search is taking so long. That will dial you in to how to spend your time, and how you spend your time is what will get you to the right spot. Not all motion is created equal. Please check that out. Nicole Mayo. Hello, Andy. Should this be the same practice when you know the position is a contract role? Yes. Yes. Or what we just talked with, was it Radu or whoever that was? I would do the same thing. I would do the same thing. There's no difference for all these. Oh, man, Mark Peckney. Hey, Andy, as you know, I'm starting a new job soon. Do you have a good template or approach on how to enter a new job? 90-day plan of attack. I would like everybody on this live office hours to give Mark Peckney a big shout out. He was a boot camper, got 87 times the return of his investment, and you and I are actually going to talk on the phone about that. So we will talk to you about your 90-day plan of attack, and we can talk to you about your full year plan of attack too. But give that dude a shout out. He is a great guy, senior project management and program management person. Just wonderful. I'm so thrilled for you. All right, let's see. Nader. Meyer Brahami. Okay, Andy, I use your resume template religiously. We love religion. All right, but how concerned should we be with matching keywords with applying? Great question. Folks, I cannot wait to tell you this. I cannot wait to tell you this. Actually, I can't believe I haven't told you this yet, but I just sort of inked the deal yesterday or the day before. So the resume template that I use is written for a human to read it, and it is statistically proven to be pleasing to them. It is also ATS friendly. Actually, Mark Peckney, can you tell her it's ATS friendly? And a lot of other people are getting great results. But one thing that I recommend that people do is they use my template. They put in the keywords because ATSs are actually not very smart. They're not very smart. And if you start formatting things in a funny way, ATSs actually have a harder time digesting it. So my resume is optimized for that. And not only that, I always recommend JobScan as a step that you take after you use my template, and then you go into JobScan and you submit the job description and your resume and all that good stuff. I am now going to be in partnership with JobScan. They called me and said, hey, we see that you have been recommending our stuff, and that your students who are now members of our program have recommended we go check you out. So we have this nice relationship that we're building, and I'm trying to get more familiar with their system because there is a load of stuff that the JobScan system does that I didn't even know it does. And before I start recommending all the what's in the warehouse and the so on, and we put like the page up for me and everything, I want to check it all out. But I can tell you that I am getting high marks from the students in the Mile Walk Academy that this thing is a resume beater. So I would put it in my format, then run it through JobScan, optimize the keywords where they recommend based on its system, and then go into the ATS. So my format, their tool, into the system. It's really been great. Okay. Yeah, I totally, I was kind of waiting until we had everything set, but that's really a cool thing. Dina LaRocca, love the name. Hi, Andy. I was asked what I was willing to accept in an interview. How can I reopen the discussion once receiving the offer after my first day? Okay, that's a tricky one because, wait, actually you have one other point here. I know I should never give a number when asked this in the interviews. However, at the time I choked. You know what, Dina, it's okay. We're human. Come on. This is tough stuff, people, right? Okay. So wait, Dina, I'm really glad you said that. And folks, I hope you get me. You get my teaching, you get my humor, and you get that I appreciate that job searching is not a natural act. You don't do it very often. It is very nerve-wracking. I realize it's your life, it's your career. Trust me, why do you think I'm here every week for free for you? So, Dina, you choked. Here's what I would do. This is me because I think there's elements of integrity and there's elements of trustworthiness and there's elements of, you want the employer to be able to count on you. If it was me, I would go to HR or the recruiter or your boss or whoever you've got really the kind of the strongest relationship with, and say, you know what, I was nervous. I really think I should have asked for more, but I asked for what I asked for and you gave it to me. So I'm willing to live with this. I'm a good soldier, okay? You want to tell them you're in. I'm in. Don't worry, I'm not a flight risk or anything, and I'm not going to be a pouty employee. What I'd like to know is what can I do over the course of the year or whenever your next review or promotion is so that I'm able to elevate my performance, my grade, my compensation, and make it more positive instead of, hey, I choked, I should have asked for this. Don't say anything like that. You made a mistake. That's okay. Don't beat yourself up. But now, what can you control? Good attitude, getting in there, telling the employer you love them. I'm excited about the opportunity. I want to know what I need to do so that 12 months from now, I'm kicking it. That's how I would handle that. I really mean it. It is not, it is much better to be positive and forward-looking, and how do I reach the next level than worry about what I just did when I like you said, you weren't comfortable, you were nervous. It's okay. It happens. But you know what? If you're a kick butt employee, you'll get there. Okay. Ivan or Ivan, hello from Fribourg, Switzerland, entrepreneur in professional video web design. Awesome. Digital media. Caroline H. Oh, sorry for you too that you did that. Diane is asking, is this just for management or higher positions? I'm assuming you mean the negotiating process and all that good stuff. Diane, if you are a 22-year-old college student getting your first job, or you are a 30-year-old project manager getting your second job, or you are a 50-year-old executive just about to become CEO, there's little nuances as you get senior. As a matter of fact, the outline that I gave you today is really for 90% of the people who are not the most senior people. So that's what I would go there. Kent, Dina, Kent, Lester, love the thumbs up. Marielle, if you guys are loving this, thumbs up and share, man. We still got a few minutes here. We still got a few minutes. All right, let's see. Count me in, Sandy. Count me in, or Indiana. I'm assuming you mean in. Let me see. Whoops. Oh, whoops. All right, hey. Okay, oops, sorry guys. Hang on. You know what? This little square mouse keyboard thing, whenever I slip, okay, wait, I think I got you. I got you back. All right, let's keep rolling. Come on, I'm having fun. You guys having fun? I'm having fun. All right, let's see. Wait, let me see. I just want to make, okay, here we go. And I think I got another one there from Dina. Along the same lines, how can we negotiate for more from small startups, not-for-profits, knowing their budgets are limited due to the nature of the company after their mission? Dina, you know what? Candidly, on this one, don't assume startups don't have any money. Okay, they started up for a reason. I get that they don't, they're not IBM or Pepsi or whatever, but realize that there's value to what you're contributing. And in those situations, now I did work for a startup in my career. One of the things that I would highly recommend is if you are okay with a lower level of compensation because you enjoy what they're doing or what you're going to learn, the fact that you're going to get in a startup, the fact that you might be learning something new, then I would be asking for equity, and I would be asking stock, and or options or whatever, and I would also be asking for bonuses. If I produce, you will give me X at the end of the year. You can negotiate variable pay. It doesn't just have to be your base salary. So that's what I would do for those smaller organizations. And hey, Torres here again. All right, Leslie from New Jersey. Heather, good to see. Yep, you're here from Louisiana. Body Snatcher. That was great. I loved it. Rhonda Smith. Okay, Rhonda Smith looks like she has a good question here. Andrew, is there any way to negotiate a salary when the company says the job pays X amount of dollars, especially if you were laid off from another job 2 months ago and they know it? So Rhonda, here's what I'd say, and I genuinely mean this, and I mean this for everybody who's out there who's either underemployed, unemployed, in a job they hate, or whatever. You are worth it. You are worth it. You've got to know your value. So I mentioned a few minutes ago, I was talking about, listen, You get down to the end, you show your value along the way. The fact that you're unemployed, it should literally, as you're going through the interviews, should not be a factor. It does not matter. You are in the interview process. So somebody else who's employed, who's in the interview, it makes no difference. Show what you can do. Focus on that. So here again, this type of question goes along that mindset issue that I was talking about. Don't worry about that. Focus on your value, not their money, and don't assume they're going to give you less just because you're unemployed. If you blow the doors off the interviews, they'll pay you more. Trust me. Trust me. I see this every day of my life. I see this every day of my life. Okay. Kyle is here. Kyle's a boot camper, folks. Love it. April. All right, let's see. April, August. Augusty. What do you do if they asked your range in the initial interview and they said that you were at the lower end of their pay scale? Can you change your expected salary requirement? So, April, that's a great question. Let me see if I got this straight. They asked you your range. They're saying they asked you, I'm assuming you meant your desired range or what you're actually getting paid. They said that you were at the lower end. So what? So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna prove to you what I can do, and you can recover from that. You could say, well, listen, I gave you this range, but I wasn't really sure what you wanted me to do, how much value at that point, I know it's not great to say it, but how much value I could add, and I would change. I would change if that's a fact. All right. Okay, Maria Rizzo. Good to have you in the house. How to answer the salary question when HR is screening you on the phone and pressing you for a salary range. Tell them what I told you. Maria, go back. This is going to be released public as soon as I hang up the thing, as soon as I press the button. Go back to the beginning where I said, here's how I would answer them. And that's what I would do. Christian's Adventures. Love the videos. Thanks for doing this. I set up my resume like you suggested, and I got the job with Apple. Boom. All right. Love that. Do you know that every week, I get at least a dozen or 15 emails from people who get jobs at Apple, Google, Disney. It's crazy. And I love it. And I only wish I knew how many more people were out there that were having good luck because of my free stuff and my paid training. So I love it, and thank you, and you're welcome. Thank you for sharing, and you are welcome. Maria's like, wait, folks, we have a tie. Linda LaCivita, that's my Mrs. LaCivita, is in the house as well, and she and my mom are tied for biggest fan. I hope that's okay with both of you, because I don't want to be in anybody's doghouse. Okay. All right, let me see. Let me move on. Kathy's here. April's here. You are welcome. All right. Keep going. Hey. Dow, David, Jay. Good to see you. Roso. Awesome. Rosario. Love it. All right. Joe Music Man. Okay. Similar to Maya's question, took a career break, inconsistently freelanced, and traveled for the last year. Volunteered some, but what's the best way to represent a year of unemployment? If I read that correctly, you were not unemployed for a year. You had freelancing projects. So what I would do for all y'all freelancers, contractors, part-timers, or whatever, Joe, if you had a year, the year is 2017 or whatever, 2016, 2017, or 2017, 2018. Perform freelance project, sole proprietor, perform freelance projects, blah, blah, blah. And then, list some of the projects. That's it. You don't have to get in all that detail about, and then the volunteer work I would put in the bottom where there's like extracurricular and volunteer activities in my resume template. If you guys haven't seen my resume template, I have a 19-minute video called How to Build the Ultimate Professional Resume, and there's a template. It's a PDF that you can copy it into a Word document, take out the instructions, and just fill in your stuff. But at the bottom is extracurricular and volunteer activities, and I would put that there, and I would put the year on, the 2017 or whatever it was. Okay, cool. pulp included. Thank you for creating these. Wonderful. I love having you. Andre, let's see. Only problems. Oh, sorry about the visa issue. And Kara is confirming that my memory is not dead yet. 7 career opportunities worth a pay cut. Folks, it's a pretty good one. For all of you that are not happy in your job, that are looking to change careers, that are not sure where to start, those 7 opportunities will give you an idea of what's worth it. It's not always worth it to take a pay cut. It's not always worth it. So, all right, let's see. Body snatcher. Okay, this is a great one. Should someone bring in or should bring documents or reports, awards to show performance at a current or previous job to help with negotiating the new move? No, I would not recommend that. I would not recommend that unless you, the only thing that I prefer you bring in to an interview, aside from your resume or your cover letter or whatever documents you've given to the company, is if you are, I know we have some graphic designers on here, probably got some architects on here, we've got folks who are photographers or whatever, web designers. You should have a portfolio that you bring in, and I like my resume template and your portfolio. Those are 2 things that you should have. And just kind of walk through your work and show them. I'm not big on awards and all that other stuff. I'm more concerned with why you won the award, and I want you to tell me that story. I don't really care what the award was. I want to know what you did to win the award. That's most important. Michael, you are welcome. Melanie Roberts DiCaprio, my friend. Hey folks, could everybody put their hands together, scream into your webcams or your iPhones or whatever you're doing, and wish Melanie, send her some good vibes, because she called me yesterday because she's got to negotiate her new job. So, Miss Senior Vice President of all things marketing, give her a big shout out, and she looks like she has a question, maybe. Can you say more about the receive, don't pitch? How do you give reasons for what you'll contribute to justify your salary request without pitching? Actually, let me clarify, my dear friend. When I say pitch, I meant you got, okay, in your situation, so Melanie is being interviewed by the CEO, and the CEO wanted to give her an offer. By pitching, what I meant was that's Melanie going to the CEO and saying, this is what I want. I want $300,000 without knowing anything about the compensation structure, what it looks like, what the whole package looks like. That's the pitch. And Melanie is past the pitch. She didn't pitch, she received. And when she received, there was some previous dialogue about, kind of what the company was willing to pay and all that good stuff. So you are now in the mode of you are about to counter. So the counter, you want to walk them through the value you're going to bring and why you want more money. That's what I meant. And the reasons for what you're going to contribute are you need the most effective counter offer tactics for specifically what Melanie is asking about is, and by the way, theoretically, if you go through an entire interview process and you're done, you should know exactly what constitutes success for your position. So if you didn't get that, whether it's Melanie or anybody else, if you don't know exactly what success looks like in 1 year, by the way, if you have not, sorry, I know I'm skipping around here. If you've not seen my video, my top 5 favorite questions to ask in a job interview, watch it. One of the questions is, if you were to hire me and I was to work here, what would success look like 1 year from now? What specifically will I have done? If you ask that question or you get that information because you know there's a charter or a mission or activities for your particular position, then when you go into counter, you want to talk about those things that a year from now are going to look like this because of you. And that's the value. And the goal is I'm going to earn you the $2 million more. I'm going to have you 15 more customers. I'm going to have you boom, boom, boom. And because I'm going to do that, here's how I'm going to do that. I'm not just going to tell you I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do that. And that's what you should have done in the interview. But if you haven't done it in the interview, now you have to do it in the counter. And you have to explain, this is what makes me worth 10,000 more, 50,000 more, or whatever. That's in the counter offer tactics. But that's what I mean. So it's difficult because you're in a situation where she kind of threw the salary over the fence. But that's what I would do. And because you're Melanie, you can call me again if you need more explanation. Okay. Hello, Andrew. Love your channel and your tips. Greetings from Buffalo. Have a question. I just started working for an IT company. Awesome. 3 months. When should I start to look for another job? 6 months or a year? Okay. So Meek and everybody else who's out there, you should always be looking for another job. And I don't mean to be funny. You should not actively look for another job. You should always be building your credentials. You should always be keeping that career achievements journal. You should always be thinking about, and by the way, I have a great live office hours coming up for you about something that's going to change your career by doing a little bit of this every day. But you should always be thinking about building. I would not be the kind of person that wants to run out on every company every 6 months or a year. I would try to make the most of the opportunity that I have with the current employer. You are going to have a more fruitful and fulfilling relationship with somebody. It's like a marriage. You know, I didn't marry my wife so that I could go and find another wife in a year. I want to contribute to building the best relationship with her. And just like I want you to contribute to building the best relationship with the company that you're at. And in order to do that, there's a lot of things that you need to do and energy you need to put into the relationship, into the marriage. So I can't answer that. If they came back and something happened and something materially changed and your environment changed, your job changed, the company got bought, sold, divested, or whatever, then that's for you to answer. But you know, I think trying to make it work and having a fulfilling, long-standing, successful relationship is what it's about. All right. Dal from Bangkok. Marielle, you're welcome. She's about to leave Dell. She used the cover letter tips. Now these 5 rules, awesome. Diane, beautiful. Joshua, wonderful. Diane, you're welcome. Mark is awesome. Linda is happy. My wife is happy for Mark. Actually, Mark, you got to come over to the house when you're in Chicago. All right. Vivian, let's see. See, folks, what happens? And the people I meet by talking to you all on these live office hours, and then people that jump in the boot camp and how we become friends. It's great, man. I love this stuff. All right, Vivian W., here's your question. Andy, I used your tips to get through HR screen and the phone screen with the hiring manager. Awesome. If I am shortlisted, okay, there will be 2 additional in-person interviews. Awesome. Where's the question? I'm not sure what the question is. Okay, on to Morgan. If you start a job at a lower salary than industry standard or what you feel you deserve, what is a reasonable time to wait before discussing or requesting an increase? So, Morgan, if you are in a job right now, I'm dead serious about this, and that's how you feel. That's how you feel. I would go to my boss and say, I want you to know I feel a little underpaid. I'm not, no threat about it. What do I need to do to raise my compensation so that my value is, I'm contributing more, I'm doing more, and trust me, believe me, you need to put the employer on alert, even if maybe you decided it was okay to accept a salary that was less than what you were willing to take. But folks, I'm always about positive, moving it forward. If you made a mistake or you did something when your circumstance was different, that's okay. That's okay. We all got to do what we got to do. Okay? But think forward, move forward. All right, Mark Peckney, who we just complimented and gave a high five, he has given me a little testimonial here that says definitely ATS friendly. Mark used my resume template, and actually Mark made me laugh so much. He wrote a story about his journey, and in his story, I hope you don't, Mark, you don't mind me sharing this. I smiled this big when I read your story, 3 pages. And in it, he said, Mark had his resume professionally written, but he wasn't really having luck. Then he joined my boot camp, and then he took the lesson, and then he edited his resume. He gave it to me. I sent it back, and he said he opened it, and it was completely redlined. And he said, Andy called my baby ugly, But, buddy, 87 times ROI, man. Was it worth it? Yes. All right. Where do I find the resume template? All right, Lily, go to How to Build the Ultimate Professional Resume, and it's on my YouTube channel or the Mile Walk blog, and it's right in the description. You just click it. It's a bit.ly link. Click it. A box opens. Just put your email in. We email you instantaneously. By the way, anybody who ever downloads something from me, we email you instantly. So like, boom, like within seconds. If you don't get the template, the booklet, the PDF, the whatever, look in your junk mail, look in your promotions folder or whatever, marketing folder, social folder, whatever it is, and just make sure we're on your safe list. Or if you don't get it, email me. Email me. You all have my email address. Just email me and say, hey, I didn't get the template. I'll know. We'll know if you downloaded it. So just do that. But there were a couple people this week, they got all upset. They said, hey, I didn't get your template. And I'm thinking, my goodness. Okay. All right. Hey, folks, still 120, man. All right, listen, I want to keep rolling. I want to go another 15 minutes. Okay. So it looks like we'll end at the bottom of the hour. So we'll go over a half an hour. Dina, again, you are welcome. Soul searching by painting succulent urban gardening. Oh my God, unemployed in Miami. Scared to apply for jobs as I'm self-conscious about explaining it. Dina, don't be that. Don't be that. You be confident you're worth it. Okay. Nader, congratulations. Ooh. Here we go. Kara is helping with the resume template. Iman, you're welcome. Lily, great. Alpert, you're welcome from Turkey. Awesome. Marielle, thanks for sharing. Carrie Day, is there a way to know the range for the position you are interviewing for? Carrie, you can ask. You can ask. There's nothing wrong with asking, but honestly, this is my personal preference for doing this for a long time. I was an employee as well. I hire employees. It's about you. It's not about their range. Folks, please, I know it's hard. I'm begging you. I'm begging you all. Carrie, you, everybody else. It is about you. It is about what you show them you're worth. Trust me, if you're killing it, they will pay you more. They will pay you what you're worth, and you have a 90+% chance of them being flexible. So even if they told you what the pay range was, you probably can get them outside of that by either getting them to see your value if it's a smaller company, or getting elevated in the ranks if it's a larger company, if they have really tight bands. Okay, Linda LaCivita is smiling. Hey, honey, I'm going to go get the vegetable that we need to eat tonight. Don't you worry. Valentina, you're welcome. Mom, it's okay. Yes, they share. Isn't that nice? The in-laws they love each other, which is wonderful. Big part of having a nice family. Make sure they get along. All right. Torre, what if the job interview is for an industry that you never worked in? Trey, I'm going to skip that. You're in the program. Hit me inside the Mile Walk Academy. I will answer you. Melanie, you are welcome. Big hearts back. John Doe, claps. Cassie, thank you. Sending Melanie the juju. Come on, man. Send Melanie the juju. Oop. All right, where are we at? Am I getting caught up here? Congrats, Melanie. That's my mom, John Doe. I get unbelievably... Hey, Kara, am I running down here? Are we getting down to the end here? Awesome. You're welcome. John Doe, I get unbelievably anxious... All right, I get unbelievably anxious in interviews and either talk nervously and ramble or speak infrequently. How do I get to a point of not being intimidated? John Doe, great question. Folks, 117 of you that are still here, I have a video on my YouTube channel that talks about job interview confidence. John Doe, get on that video and check that out. It will help, super help. Sam is asking, where's bio? I'm not sure what that means. Great live session. Did I miss anybody? Let me go back here. Torre asked, what if the job you are interviewing for is in an industry you have never worked in before? Ray, here's your answer. And anybody else who is about to change careers, on my YouTube channel, I have a live office hours that is the 7 steps you need to take to change careers effectively. And one good piece of news for all of you is not only do I have that video and another video that's a shorter video, it's packaged more vlog style, so it's tighter, it's 10 minutes as opposed to an hour, hour and a half. But I'm creating a career changer webinar. It's free, and that'll be helpful. Kara is okay. So Sam is asking me something. He says his phone's acting up crazy. You're welcome. All right, folks. Well, listen. Just want to let you know I love having you. If you got any more questions, pop them right in here. Otherwise, next Thursday and the Thursday after, we're off. I'm doing the boot camp. The boot camp runs Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday next week. So in 9 days, you're all done. It's loads of fun. It's tons of coaching. It's tons of templates. It's an entire framework. It's a year's worth of ongoing coaching. It's my book. It's all that other stuff. It's an all-access pass to all my training courses. You get everything. And I'll review your resume in this promotion. Otherwise, like I said, the price of the package literally doubles Monday night at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. So depending on when you're actually watching these live office hours, the promotion might be over. So if you're watching this next week or the week after, that program's going to be gone. The boot camp is always up. It's just a matter of whether you get this particular promotion, but just based on the value people are getting, the amount of time it takes me to go through your resumes, all that stuff contributes to making the price attractive. But we're getting a lot of great feedback and most importantly, a lot of great results. And even more importantly, we're building a great community because all the people in these programs are getting in our private Facebook group, which is like 1,500 people in the Facebook group. We're all getting connected on LinkedIn. It's a wonderful support system. So, and I'm building some other stuff community-wise beyond that are where we're going to get to know each other better and all that great stuff. So it's really, really a lot of fun. Oh, all right. I see some more came in. Let's see. Where were we at? Ray, what if you don't want to negotiate on bonus? That's okay. You don't have to negotiate on bonus. I just think, I just want to make sure that you are making sure that you're asking for what you want. And it doesn't have to be the bonus. It could be other things. It could be vacation days. I think in Lita Lynn's, and if you're in the Mile Walk Academy, you can see the comments. They're right out there in the techniques. And then she and I went back and forth about it. She didn't counter with salary and bonus. She needed more vacation days. So we talked about how to go about doing that. And she got them. And without having to give anything back. So that's okay. Pulp included, do you find that women negotiate differently than men? And if so, any advice on cool tactics? So I honestly, and I know, I know I'm a male, obviously, but no, I think it's really, these tactics apply to anybody at any level. And no, I don't really think that they negotiate different. I think they might have, and this is just a generalization, they might have different interests, different needs. Sometimes, and just, it's a statistical fact, it's not a prejudicial fact, that, a lot of times women want more flexibility. Or if they're the primary caretaker of the kids, they got to get home, or they need to be at the daycare by 6 o'clock. Otherwise, you start getting billed $10 a minute, so you need more flexibility. So a lot of times, what I find women negotiating for, this is just a generic statement. It's not all the time, because it's not everybody that's like this. But it's more flexibility. It's more the work from home. It's those kind of things. Vacation days, the kids get sick. They're the ones that tend to stay home with the kid. That kind of stuff. But I would use the same tactics. Leslie, I have told all my friends about how great you are, and only on base. Okay, Pat, whoa, you guys came storming in here when I was just about to hang up. All right, 6 more minutes, and let's have some fun. All right, Leslie, Torre. Patrick in Boise. What is your perspective? Ouch. What is your perspective on live video interviews like HireVue? I just had one Monday and liked it. How long should I wait to call for a follow-up? Okay, those are multiple questions. Video interviews are fine. I don't have a problem, doing this is cool. Hey, I'm looking and you're looking or whatever. When you do videos, look into the camera, okay? I have to look over here to make sure. Okay, you guys, I wish you guys could almost see my screen. There's like 80 things open. I have streaming device here. I got the thing to make the panel so I can chat, all this stuff. Sometimes I'm moving presentations and things around. But you need to be comfortable, and you have to remember that you have to look into the eye of the computer or the phone or the iPad, whatever you're using to talk, because you do want to connect with them direct. You want to look into the camera so that they're looking in your eyes. But that's really important. If you are now, you're asking a question about the follow-up. The follow-up you should always have a response to them within 24 hours. So a thank you and a follow-up email. I also like the email and mail in the card to everybody that was in there, all separate emails to everybody that you videoed with or that you interviewed with. Speed and thoughtfulness are incredibly important. Speed means within 24 hours. Thoughtfulness means you don't just send a one-line email that says, thank you, I look forward to hearing from you, I had a great time. No, why are you the best? Thank them. Why are you the best person for the job? Nail it. Then express your attitude, gratitude, and looking forward to the opportunity to hear from them and moving on to the next steps. Those are the 3 parts of your thank you message. And it needs to be done within 24 hours, and I'd get the email to them. Now, if you did that, and then you're wondering, well, how long before I should follow up again? What you're really hoping is that, number one, they've given you some indication when you got done with the video interview that, hey, we'll get back to you within, X amount of hours, days, weeks, whatever. And you know that. And then you want to watch the time. If they don't say anything and you get done with the interview and then you send the thank you and you don't hear from them, 7 days. On the 7th day. So if you interviewed, Monday, next Monday you email them. I want to follow up again. Wait, you should have emailed them by Tuesday. If you haven't sent them a thank you, send it now. It's better late than never. It's difficult, but it's better late than never. And then I would wait 7 days. All right. You're welcome, Carolyn. Fawn, retracted, Toe Ray. Most companies try to sell you on what you can make on bonus. Nah, I wouldn't be worried about that. Let me see. Carrie Day, are you still taking names? Oh, folks, let me comment on this. Carrie, and for everybody else, on the Interview Intervention Facebook group that I'm going to be running, we haven't started that yet. If you're on my Tips for Work and Life community list, where you get an email from me every week, maybe a couple emails or 3 emails, on that list, I'm going to send an email to that group, and then you'll click it, and it'll take a button it'll go into the Mile Walk Academy. You'll fill in your name and email and that you want to be a participant. It's really cool. You'll get instant access to the Interview Intervention eBook and the Audiobook and the chapter notes and stuff. And then you'll fill in your address, and then the fulfillment company will send you the book. And then you'll be in and then you'll just ask to join the Facebook group, and then we'll select you. So as long as you're on the list, you'll get the email. By the way, this is really great. I get a few or 5 emails a day for people asking me about this, and I love it. I have no idea how many people would actually be interested. I can take up to 200 is kind of the budget that I've set for that, and what I want to include. I think that's kind of the right number. I also want to get to know you guys on the Facebook group. So that's that. Just keep an eye out for it. Fun. I went on an interview. And the interviewer did all the talking and didn't ask me hardly any questions. Is this a bad sign? She just talked about herself. Interview lasted an hour and a half. Okay, this is funny. Not funny for you, but just funny in general, because I do get asked this question a lot. It's a good one. Rule of thumb, whoever talked more in the interview thought it went better. So if she talked a lot, it's probably not a bad thing. And a lot of times they could be selling the company. But you just want to make sure that, the good news is she spent an hour and a half with you. So that's cool, because if she didn't like you, she probably would have cut the interview short. And an hour and a half is a pretty good amount of time to spend. So it's not necessarily a bad time. Yo, Andrew, I have recently got a lot of job personality tests. There are no up-to-date videos on the subject. Any advice? Scott, you know what? That's a great question. I do get asked this about personality tests. I don't, this is I'm giving my personal opinion. I don't love them. I don't love them to be used as a screening tool for recruitment. I don't like aptitude tests. They're completely ridiculous as a tool for screening you for employment. Personality tests, they're difficult to gauge. The aptitude tests are ridiculous because they test your brain in an inert state where you're not factoring in the political, economic, social, marketing, all the factors that you deal with every day in your job. It is impossible to simulate that in these aptitude tests. So I don't love them. I don't have a lot to say about them. I don't shoot videos about them. I don't just because I don't believe in them. But if you are getting them, my best advice to you, though, because you asked the question and you're obviously getting them, is don't sweat them. Literally, go in, answer them honestly. And if some company's going to hang that over your head because you scored this way or that way or whatever, that's terrible. And there are other tools out there that I generally like the DISC profile and some of these others where if you were having, we do this for a couple of companies that I sit on the boards for, but they would take, we would fill out the profiles. They would look at our traits and characteristics and to see how we would gel as a board or as a management team or whatever. Those I kind of like because it's cool, but we're also talking about them and just trying to get to know each other better and recognize people's strengths. To use them as a screening tool for recruitment, I don't love that. I don't love that, but I would not worry about that. Okay. Wait, I think somebody in here asked me about email address. You could send it to support@milewalk.com, especially if you have any questions about the boot camp or the trade-in program or the trade-up program or whatever. Just email me. I read my emails, folks. I read my emails. Verna, could you give me the web email of where to look up your boot camp? Sure. Verna, in the description of this video, there is a link. But if you just go to Google and you type Job Search Bootcamp, I think I'm right in the top, number 2 or 3 in Google, and it'll just say Andrew LaCivita's Job Search Bootcamp, and you just click that. But the link is in there, and you can also go to the Mile Walk Academy. It's MILEWALK Academy.com, and you can check out all this stuff right there. There's a lot of free stuff too, which is really nice. I love giving away stuff. Okay. Kara's answering. Troy, what should be said in the after 7-day follow-up email? Okay, great question. I really enjoyed my interview that I had last Monday. It was wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. I wanted to just follow up to see if there's any updates. And the third thing is I want to reiterate my interest in the position. I'm excited to move forward. Same kind of thing. Use the same kind of construct. All right. And Torre, you are welcome. And Virna, you're welcome. And Lily, you're welcome. And who else? You are welcome. Awesome. Marielle, awesome. I love that you guys help each other out, man. I really do. I really do. All right. Awesome. Okay. Wait, one other. Let's take this one because this looks cool. Your thoughts on salary meritocracy. Ex-employee is at 100K for the same position. Y is at 120. Can you use this information to negotiate up on salary? I love that question. It's a difficult one, and I know that this happens. So the one thing that you want to do is it's always better to focus on you and not the others. So I understand relativity is important, okay, that you want to have some level of cohesiveness and meritocracy. That's important. But the one thing that I would do is I would use that as a last resort. So I would, if you're earning 100 and somebody else is earning 120, I would go to my boss and I would say, you know, I currently earn 100. I feel like I should be earning 120. And based on what I'm doing, the contributions I'm making. And then before I went to, you know, my counterparts are earning this, I would say, you know, hey, I did some homework just in the market and what organizations are paying for these positions. And I determined that it's between, you know, 110 and 130 or whatever, you know, whatever it is. And I would really try not to go to the other people in the company, because honestly, those, you know, theoretically, that's not information people should be sharing with each other, even though I know employees do that. But it's kind of my last resort. I'm more of a fan of focusing on yourself and your contributions, if that helps. Okay. All right, folks. 1 hour, 35 minutes. I love you all. Thank you so much. Still 100 people on here. You guys are great, man. You guys are great. If you have any questions, you know, I'd love to, you know, email me, support@milewalk.com. Go grab the freebies in the description. If you got any questions about, oh wait, one from Jay. Does Andy help? Wait, actually, sorry. Kara's beeping at me here, folks. Does Andy help with the job search when you sign up for the boot camp? So wait, this is a great one. This is a great one, because this actually, Jasmine, that's a great question. Folks, when you sign up for the boot camp, you get a welcome email. We give you instruction of how to find the way around it. Then what we do is in your training portal, you have previous versions of the boot camp that are recorded for you that you can look at. And you also have access to everything else, all the training programs and so on. We have a live session that's starting next week on Tuesday. There's 5 of them. And you come if you can. And sometimes people can't make them, and sometimes they do. And during those sessions, we have a deep I teach for a while, quite a while. And then we have a deep Q&A where we go through this stuff. The part where we're interacting is you get access to me. I'm the one that answers all the comments in the environment. So if you have a question about your boot camp, you have questions about the program, or you have questions about your search, we just interact right there. It's like we're emailing back and forth. And so we're just sending messages back and forth. And I mentioned that Lita Lynn, she needed help with the negotiation. We just went back and forth. And then there's also additional coaching sessions, which you get on an ongoing basis. Those are great too. But there's quite a bit of interaction. I do have one-on-one coaching. It's quite expensive, but trust me, the boot camp, there's a lot of interaction with me. There's a lot of ways for you to get to me. And if they're extremely sensitive information, we email directly. So some people email me directly, which I'm not totally opposed to. I generally get back if people are inside the training system, because I know somebody needs something. My email is flooded every day. But yes, you will get help. Trust me when I tell you this, I will get you to where you want to go. I will get you there. We will figure out a way for you to get what you want. And if you put the effort in, I will be there to support you. And if you don't like it, it's money, 100% money back guarantee. I'm not kidding you. You get a whole month to try it out. So it's pretty cool. And then in this promotion, for this package, I'm also including resume reviews for everybody. So believe me, you're getting a ton of help. You're getting a ton of help. So I hope that helps. All right. So on that note, oh wait, we have more people watching now. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I just want to say so long, folks. Next couple weeks, we've got some other messages we're going to be sending out to our subscription list. We'll be kind of packaging all these videos up for you to make it easy for you to watch them, all that cool stuff. I'm back in, not next week, the week after, but the week after that. And I actually, I have different topics that are lined up for that day, but I was also thinking about just doing a flat out Q&A. I'd actually, you know what? You're still here. There's 100 of you still here. Send me your email. Let me know. Would you like me to just do a Q&A and just take as many of these questions as I can? We were thinking about just maybe doing an all-out Q&A. We're still toying with it. I know a lot of this is Q&A, but I spend 15, 20, 25 minutes up front giving you the lesson. But I want to help you get to where you want to go. So I hope this is helpful. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share it wherever you can, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Get connected with me if we're not already connected. I'd love to continue the conversation. Wherever you want, I will be there. All right, till 3 weeks. Be good.